Number 10. How did the Heisenberg uncertainty principle contribute to the idea that electrons occupy clouds or orbitals as opposed to a strict path of revolution like an orbit, like a planetary orbit? Well, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, right, that's Heisenberg uncertainty principle states that it is impossible to determine simultaneously. Now, you can determine either one, okay, just not at the same time. You can determine the position, you can determine the velocity, you just can't do them simultaneously. So it is impossible to determine simultaneously both the position and velocity of an electron or any other particle in reality, but for our purposes, we're for the most part talking about the electron. Now remember, we mentioned this really quickly, we didn't spend a whole bunch of time on it, but we did go over this. Because measuring the position of an electron actually changes its position, there is always a basic uncertainty in trying to locate an electron, right? Even if you do attempt to locate it and you do, the fact that you observed it, measuring the position, actually changes its location. So by definition, it moves instantaneously. So there's a basic amount of uncertainty that just comes along with identifying the location. Therefore, the exact position of the electron cannot be found. Okay, the exact position is completely unknowable. Now, you can know relative position, you can know position to a certain degree, but just not with absolute certainty. Now, referring to clouds, an electron cloud or orbit represents a region that is the most probable for finding an electron. Typically, we say that an orbital, the edge of an orbital, even though an orbital has no hard edge, we typically define the size of an orbital and the edge of an orbital by the area, or should I, it's three-dimensional, so the volume, okay, the location in which there is a 90% chance of locating that electron. Okay. Now, notice even in that definition, there's still a 10% chance of the electron not even being there. Okay, and so we're just talking about percentages here, likelihoods.